Respondents were also asked, now that the Supreme Court has overturned the 1973 Roe v. Wade decision and the power to regulate abortion returned to the states, what kind of law would you prefer that North Carolina does in regards to abortion law? Protestants favor the law that would ban abortion except for cases of life endangerment or rape or incest. 1/3 of Protestant respondents agree with this law being implemented in North Carolina, and an overwhelming 80% of those identified as born again or evangelical. The same law was favored by Orthodox North Carolinians, with 50% of the Orthodox population agreeing to this law and 60% being men. However, Catholics looked very different. In fact, they were the opposite. They preferred the law that would keep abortion accessible until 22 weeks. Approximately 7% of those identified as evangelical or born again. However, an overwhelming majority of evangelical Catholics favored expanding abortion access. This really shocked me because the Catechism of the Catholic Church has voiced its opposition to abortion and contraception in whatever forms it could be done. Additionally, the Catholic Church was one of the first groups to voice its opposition to the legalization of abortion and has been ever since. North Carolinians were also asked who they would vote for if they had to vote the day they responded to the poll. Of the North Carolinians who said they would vote for Republican Ted Budd, about 53% were Protestants. Of Protestants who would vote for Ted Budd, almost 71% were evangelical. However, a majority of Protestant women as a whole said they would vote for Sherry Beasley. Catholics looked a little bit different. Among Catholic men, Sherry Beasley was favored. About 46% of Catholic men supported her, with 60% of Catholic evangelical men supporting her. Of Catholic evangelicals, Ted Budd was the favored candidate, and a majority of those who said they would vote for him were women at 75%. Now, in talking about the House of Representatives, there was an increase of support for the Republican Party, specifically among Protestants. While about 37% of Protestants would support Sherry Beasley, about 52% would support Republican candidates for the House of Representatives. This is a really great example of how split ticketing continues today. Split ticketing happens when a voter chooses a party candidate for one office, which is in this case the Senate, and a different party candidate for a different position, so in this case, the House of Representatives. I concluded that evangelicals in North Carolina favor stricter abortion laws and policies in North Carolina. However, for the majority, they do not want abortion access completely banned. People who do identify as evangelical are more likely going to vote for Republican candidates who claim to be pro-life. Of course, more research needs to be conducted. I would love to know how the different religious sects interpret the word evangelical. Seeing that Catholics favored more access to abortion than Protestants really shocked me. I would also like to know how race impacts one's opinions to the access of abortion and contraception in addition to religion and gender. I did not expand on this in my thesis because when I was disaggregating the data, over 70% of respondents were white. A more diverse group of respondents statewide would help us understand how one's race affects their stances on abortion. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my research.